Hello and welcome to another Let's Play by me, the GamerWolfSix of Morenatsu. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can go down to the link in the description where you can download and get it for free. And this game does have age content, which I believe will be on this episode. Well, would be, except I'm cutting it out because, you know, YouTube. So if you want to see that, you download and play the game. So with all that out of the way, let's start. Alright, I'll be right here. Oh, I'll wait here. Right. I stopped in front of the house and spoke to Kouya. He gave me a nod, but somewhere in there, I could sense a bit of apprehension. It should have only been a week since Kouya came here, but for me, it's been 5 years. When I thought that, I felt kind of nostalgic. It was that house in front of me, Kouya's parents' home. The place where Kouya made a promise to Kazumi-san. And now, it's a place to reach a conclusion. Yesterday's band contest. We came over today to tell them the results. Now, just wait for me. Look pointedly at the light, peeking through the window. Then, he slowly walked inside. I gave him a tiny nod and saw him off. After making sure that Kouya had gone in, I leaned on the nearby telephone pole to wait. Last time, I saw the house I was house sitting, but this time I'd come along at Kouya's request. I thought about whether we should go together, but then Kouya had blushed and said, I don't want us to go together. There wasn't any other choice. But this is as far as I can go. On the other side of the door is a place I can't enter at the moment. And now, since I'm alone, the night breeze feels a bit chilly. I give a small sigh and look upwards. The whole starry sky spread out in front of me. As it continued on forever, it seemed to reflect a bit of myself. It seemed to fill myself with one's own feelings, or at least, so I think. As the door made its usual sound, it opened into a familiar corridor and looked untouched by time. Since the lights weren't turned on, the light coming through the living room was the only illumination. I stepped into that gloomy space, and the weight of my chest got heavier. That's my anxiety and tension. That, and the wall that had been built up over half a year. There's nothing else. The combined weight of these feelings gave me pause. I have to do this. I've already come this far. I can't go back. There's nothing else but to keep going. My mind kept telling me that as I took a deep breath. That decided it. What I said at the start, what I would be saying now, all of it. I took a step forward to shed some of my emotions coiling around my heart, and stretched my head out to push open the second and last door. The room I had been dreading greeted me. Only sound of the clock, I guess that's the clock, could be heard, and the door hinges, creaked as they showed me in. At that noise, Mom and that person looked towards me. To answer those looks, I didn't hesitate. I didn't falter. I just spoke the words that I had decided on earlier. I'm back. A little bird chirped, and there were cups placed on the table. Mom had to set down drinks for 3, and she sat facing me. Next to her was the father I'd continued to avoid, sitting there with his eyes closed. The way he was rejected me hurt, and it wouldn't turn my eyes away. But that's not what I came here to do. I've made up my mind. Come all the way here, so looking away from him wouldn't be helpful. Even though he wouldn't look this way, I won't take any rash actions. I focus my attention forward. So, what happened? You came all this way over at this hour. Mom must have noticed my intentions as she opens up the conversation for me. Oh, that was her. She should already know why I'm here, yet she plays dumb. I gave some thanks inside my heart and took a deep breath. Then I spoke. I came over today to apologize for everything up until now, and for everything after this. Yesterday, there was a big contest. If you did well in it, there was a chance we could make our debut there. My friends and I participated in it. It was always my dream. I always wanted to express something through music to someone. I've always thought that, even before I left. Even now, my feelings on that haven't changed. Back then, he told me. He said that this world is full of people like me. He said to take a closer look at reality. It's true, I thought about that. But I knew, right from the beginning, that I wanted to do was reckless, and I didn't have to do it. I'm sure there could always be someone else that could have taken my place, but I wanted to give it a shot. I didn't matter if anyone could do it. I wanted to do it out myself. And so, if I ever realized I was no good, that might have been okay. If I tried and failed, I probably would have given up. But I couldn't give up before trying, so I left home. In half a year, I've made it this far. I've tried to keep going however I could, to struggle onwards, to a place where I'm aiming for. I had no idea if it was going to be a long journey or not. But during that time, I discovered so many things inside myself. That's why I came over today to apologize. Mom, Dad, for everything up until now. All the troubles and worries I've caused you. I'm sorry. It's been such a long time coming. But I thought if only I could have spoken more clearly then. I'm truly, honestly sorry for everything. I hung my head a little. With those words, the weight in my chest lifted a little. For half a year, I'd pretended not to notice these feelings in my heart that had come from somewhere. I thought that the huge gap between us had gotten a bit smaller, just a little bit. But, however, I can't be satisfied with that. I still had so many things I needed to say, things I had to get through. I didn't just come here to look back at the past. I also came for the sake of continuing on. But I guess I won't be coming back after all. I think it'll be the same as the first time I left. What I want to do could be done by anyone else, and it's very reckless. Even then, it's not as if it's something I have to do. From the bottom of my heart, I honestly thought we could make the Grand Prix. Because of that, I want to try and go as far as I can. This might be selfishness, but in the end, I want to go as far as possible until I understand myself. Because of everything that's happened, I don't think you'd be happy with such a simple explanation. I'm not confident I can really explain it either. But if it's possible, for all the things I've done, please forgive me. As I quietly informed them, Mom's face looked a bit lonely. And then, I see. Sorry, I'm trying to do a little bit of voice acting. She looked a bit pale, but she answered me clearly. My chest hurt, just a little bit. I'm sure Mom always wanted me to come back. But, on the other hand, she always did cheer me on. That must be why she made me promise. If I did well, then she could stop worrying. Maybe. But even if she felt that way, I think she really did want me to come home. And you've already decided? Yeah. It's not like I'll stop living alone, move back here and then pick up from where I left off. It's just, for a little while longer, I want to try walking by myself. You want to try walking by yourself, you say? Then he suddenly spoke up. I turned to face him in surprise. Up until now, my dad sat there with his eyes closed, but now he's looking straight at me. Do you understand what you just said, the meaning of those words? Rather than questioning, the strong tone implied that he was looking for confirmation. It's the same stern demeanor. As I remembered my respect for him, I forgot the words I was about to say. I've always said that life is a series of choices. There are many different ways to end to the same end. Originally, one starts out on their own. It never changes, no matter the circumstances. But often, people form connections with others. When someone makes a decision, another choice and outcome becomes closed off. Those would be families, parents, children, and true friends. Close relationships, all the more so. People meet and influence each other, then they continue on. When you say you want to walk by yourself, you're saying you'll shoulder all the responsibilities of choices by yourself. Just as you have, ever since you've left. But that by itself is not enough. When you walk alone, you also have to walk the path you've picked. Instead of running from your emotions, shoulder your responsibilities. But don't just be stubborn, have some flexibility. It sounds obvious, but it's not that simple. It doesn't help that the path you chose is a thorny one. In the future, it's likely to be even steeper and painful. Keeping a definite goal will become difficult, but if you lose focus, even for a moment, you lose track of where you're going. If you ever lose your conviction, you never make the dream come true. It's that deep. Still, you're prepared to go through with this? He asked me the question again. As he threw another pointed look at me, I felt like the temperature of the air dropped. However, that wasn't fear and anxiety pressing in, but more a feeling of my determination. After all, I already decided my answer. This time, I didn't hesitate. I spoke up. Yeah, even if something is waiting, I'm going. I see. In that case, wait for a minute. My dad said that as he got up and left the living room. He came back a moment later with a case that looks familiar. It was a guitar case. I don't really know if this is something good. The manager of an instrument store chose it for me. Take it as a farewell gift. Whatever expression I had on my face, I couldn't tell. It was probably complete surprise. At the same time, my heart was beating in my ears. I opened up the case on the table carefully, as if it could break at any rough treatment. Inside it was an antique guitar, along with a piece of paper. I've seen this at the shop. The guitar could be called a vintage piece. This sort of thing is normally expensive. I've always joked that if I made my debut, I'd go and buy this sometime. Sitting alone on the top of what that is a tiny piece of paper. And I felt like I've seen it somewhere before, but I can't remember where. Do you understand, Kouya? What I said before wasn't a lie. If your mind's made up, I won't repeat myself. Don't hesitate. Walk on the path you believe in. Grab your dream with your hands. It's your life. Yes. That's all I have to say. My dad stood up again and turned his back to me. Get going already, he seemed to say. Before he left the room, he looked over his shoulder at me. No, there's one more thing. I don't really understand music. Yesterday's performance was quite good. Come visit us once in a while. When he said that, I remembered. The little scrap of paper in the guitar case. It's a ticket stub from the contest yesterday. When I realized what it was, my eyes grew hot. I stood bolt upright and called out to him. Thank you, Dad. Again, my chest unblocked, and my eyes filled with tears. At the edge of my blurred vision, Mom smiled. Emotions. I've played this game at least 3 times and still kind of, you just feel it. I had no idea how long I've been looking at the night sky. When I did notice, a fair amount of time had passed, and Kouya was standing in front of me. Is it over? Yeah. I finished it properly. When I saw his clear expression, I felt relieved. I pushed myself off the telephone pole. The two of us walked slowly along the road. Our shadows stretched out along the country path. When I walked back to the apartment, Kouya told me what happened. He told me about how he'd planned to keep going with the band and our return home. About how his dad forgave him. And now, the guitar he was holding. He seemed a bit embarrassed as his tail wagged. He relaxed a little as he spoke. Glad. Really. Hey, Dark. Wanna do it? Sorry, I had to put that joke in there. Right after we got back inside, Kouya called me while I was looking out the window. Lights weren't even on yet. For now, will you give me a moment? Okay, but what is it you're going? What's going on? What is going on that you have to sound so formal for? Sorry, reading's hard. Nothing. It's just that I wanted you to be the first one to hear me play this. When he said that, he held up the guitar case he was given. It seems to be it. Well, I certainly don't mind, but you sure about me being first? Oh, Kouya, I'm gonna be your first time with this guitar. Wouldn't it be better to play it tomorrow in front of Kaisuke-san and the other? Kouya quietly shook his head as I spoke. And of course my throat gets all weird. It's true that I wanted to tell everyone tomorrow, but I want you to be the first one to hear it. Kouya's eyes shone, and through the moonlight as he looked at me. I've always thought this, but this particular expression is so mean. I can never refuse him when he looks at me like that. Well, although I tried to resist, I was honestly happy and didn't plan on saying no. In that case, I guess I'll take you up on that. Kouya smiled at that response, then sat down in the chair and opened up the case. I sat down next to him and waited. I thought about turning on the lights, but as there was plenty of light through the window, I stopped. Yak. I wanted to try listening in on this kind of atmosphere. Kouya took out the guitar, gave me the strings. I flicked to test them. 6 notes echoed through the room in a rough chord. Without saying anything, Kouya immediately started tuning it. Each time he strummed the strings, the sound started to harmonize, and then it was complete. It felt nice. Soon after tuning the 6th string, Kouya winked at me. I picked up on that and replied with a nod. Then, Kouya slowly started playing the song. I knew what song it was from the first few notes. Yesterday's contest. It was the second song they played, the one Kouya had written. That song. There was no bass, drums, or vocals. It was a piece played only with the guitar. It felt even more heart-surrendering, especially because there was a piano out of nowhere. Sorry. Then, when all 4 of them played it, even so, the notes wrapping around me felt warm and gentle. The calming effect was like being gently rocked by ocean waves. It was almost as if the guitar itself was carrying me along with sound. However, I'm sure it wasn't just that. I'm sure it came together with Kouya's feelings and made the notes even deeper. I stayed silent, and the reverberating notes shook me. As that happened, time passed in the blink of an eye. Kouya plucked the last note, and ended with it trailing out peacefully. Then my clapping hands took its place. Clapping. Okay, joke aside. would have been nice to tell him by my impressions, but I couldn't find the words for it. So, clapping was all I could do. Sorry for being so selfish. No, it's not like that. It's like I like hearing you play. Hearing the one I love say that only makes me happy. It was kind of uncomfortable to hear Kouya say that. Even though he's told me that to my face before, I guess I'm still not used to it. I intentionally looked down at the floor. When he saw that, Kouya gave me a small laugh. When I heard that laugh, I looked up in indignation. Kouya's whole face filled my field of vision and passed right in front of mine. At the same time, my body was wrapped in his fluffy warmth. Having things like this, being able to play this guitar, and the fact that I can keep going after my dream, it's all pretty much thanks to you, Dark. That's not true. It's because of you. Because everyone works so hard. I didn't do anything but support you. Since he was whispering so close to my ear, I ended up fumbling a bit. Heart pounded wildly as a pair of hands firmly clasped around my back. But if he didn't stop supporting me, I would never have gotten to this point. I'll say it again. I am truly thankful. Thanks, Dark. At the edge of my vision, I saw Kouya appear in like a mirror's reflection. A hand was put on my shoulder and felt kind of hot. It might be because I was feeling excited. Yeah, excited. Or maybe because I'm nervous. I suddenly forgot how to blink. Our faces slowly parted, but our eyes didn't break away. In that instant, Kouya looked straight at me. In the next, our lips pressed together. Our lips separated almost immediately. Mouth opened up in protest at that, and as though he'd waited for it, Kouya took my lips again. This time they didn't just touch. His tongue pressed in and made it more indulgent kiss. The long tongue slowly moved around inside my mouth. Okay, I think this might be a good time to cut it. Though I do like to note, well, I guess I haven't posted that shit yet. But hey, my things are back up. Anyways, yeah, if you want to see what's happening here, you can go into the link and download the game and play Kouya's route. So, we're gonna cut it because YouTube is a bit of a prude. Be right back. I close my eyes and bask in the warmth of the afterglow. You could probably figure out what happened there. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Again, if you want to play this game, or see that scene, you can download the game and play it. And, yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching another Let's Play by me, GamerWolfSix, of Morenatsu, the original Kouya's route. Comments, because I like comments, and if you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay and or neuter your animals to help control the pet population so they don't become anthropomorphic and turn into rock stars that you fall in love with. And to help control the pet population. And until next time, Let's Play by me, the GamerWolfSix of Morenatsu, the original Kouya's route. See ya.